and welcome to Tracy's Kitchen. Today we're going to do one of my favorites, which has been a favorite for a long time. I think back since I was in college, and yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyway, we're going to do some French onion soup today, and we may be coming to the end of soup season, but that's such a light soup that it goes all year round in my book. And you know, really now we're doing soups just about the entire year, but this one's a little lighter. It's not creamy and nothing special about it. Very simple and really easy to make. So one of my favorites, French onion soup. Okay, today with our French onion soup, let me show you just what few ingredients you need to make this soup so light and delicious. Okay, first of all, of course, we're going to need onions, and I would say 2 medium onions because I did not have 2 medium. I'm doing a large and a small. And I will say this, going into the summer season when Vidalias are available, use those because they're sweeter and they are just so absolutely delicious. We also need our water, of course. I use fresh ground pepper. You get more flavor, more taste. Thyme, butter, and another thing I do instead of beef bouillon, we'll use 2 beef bouillon. I also use 2 vegetable bouillon. Just gives it a little bit of flavor without being so beefy. And once again, because we're going into summer, I'm going to use some white wine as opposed to red wine. Red wine always reminds me of winter. It's just a little heavier in my opinion. So let's get started making our soup. First thing we want to do is cut up our onions. The first thing I want to recommend is to slice your onions very, very thin. Kind of show you about the way you'd want them. Pretty thin. Okay, so let's finish cutting up this onion. Once we've got our onions sliced really thin, just give them another nice little chop. You want a good size onion in there. You don't want the whole round ring. So then we're going to put our onions over in our soup pot. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a half of a stick of butter with it. And we're going to saute these onions until they get nice and translucent. As we can see, our onions have sweated down nicely. Very translucent and ready to add the rest of our ingredients. We're going to add, because we have this many onions, we're going to add 6 cups of water. Okay, let's put in our first couple of cups, 2 cups I should say. Go ahead and add our bouillon cubes at this time. We're going to put our beef, do a couple of those, and our vegetable. We will also put our thyme and our pepper in. And we'll bring it to a boil and then add the rest of your water. Okay. Now we're almost there. The soup is boiling nicely, and you can see the light color. We didn't put as much beef bouillon. We put the vegetable, which lightened it up somewhat. Also, we're going to now add white wine as opposed to red wine, which will also darken it. Remember, this is a spring version, and this is really, really a wonderful light soup. I think soup always fills me up, but this one is definitely on the light side. So we'll let this simmer for about 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and then we'll serve it up. I think our soup is done. And let me tell you, this can really make your kitchen smell fabulous. So now it's time to plate it up or bowl it up, whatever. Spill it just about to the top. You can use a piece of bread if you would like on top, or we use croutons. And when you put these croutons on, remember, they have a tendency to be salty. And with all the bouillon that we have in our soup, one of the last things that you would want is salt. And I like to use HAVARTI cheese, just because it happens to be one of my favorites for anything. But you can use whatever type of cheese you would like. Provolone is also great. Swiss gives it a little too much tartness, I think. So you want a milder white cheese to go on the top. Beautiful French onion soup. You can see our cheese has melted on the top. Our can't wait to dig in.